Oh shit! You know,
Oh no, we're good. You know, I just like to let it run for a second so people can get here and I can post the link and stuff. So we're good. Is it Heemeyer or Haymeyer? Heemeyer?
I thought it was Heemeyer. Oh shit, that's the door right there. I'm going on this one. It was wasn't it Haymeyer? Mars
Haymeyer. Yeah, Marvin.
It might have been Heemeyer.
It's spelled Heemeyer, but I think it's Haymeyer. I just want to say Heemeyer really bad. I hate all this shit happened like the day after my birthday.
It's Haymeyer, right?
Yeah, I think they pronounce it Haymeyer, but it's spelled Heemeyer. You can't hear me? Are you like? Am I like lagging? Or are you?
Hold on, I'm gonna have to move around because I'm losing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's just I don't think you were hearing me, or you were like responding mad late. Yeah, like right now, it looks like you're frozen.
Yeah, because it. All right, hold on, I'm gonna drop out and come right back.
So this is awkward. Hey guys, we're like a minute and almost 2 minutes into the episode, and obviously niggas is having technical difficulties, but I'm here. It's me, Chris. We're probably just gonna chill for another couple minutes until people start to come in. So when you guys go back and watch the replay of this, you guys probably want to start it a little bit later than right now. So, oh, here's Penrose. Let's see.
Hi. My bad.
No, you're good. I was just explaining that when niggas go watch the replay of this, probably just like fast forward a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Probably should have started a little bit later, but we here for y'all. Sorry, nigga. Yo, yeah, first off, I feel like I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks.
I also feel like that. You're not the first person to tell me that either, and I think I don't know if it has anything to do with me not dropping an episode, but we also didn't really like text a lot as much as we normally do in the group chat over the last 2 weeks. It's just been like really just like it's like Stranger Things. Like it's just a lot of like things happening. I'm trying to get my life together. So I was thinking about y'all, but I wasn't like, I feel like I was probably like, I already feel like I probably neglected also the podcast happy hour this week. Like missed a lot of stuff. Hi.
Yo.
Oh, look at this shit. Here's VJ. Look at this shit right here. So, fun story. We ain't did shit for like 3 minutes. He popped out and popped back in. So, good to see you.
Anything?
Yeah, you didn't miss anything at all. This is excellent.
You're technically on time, man.
Yeah. And I'm about to move y'all just because that other shit fucks with my feng shui.
Fucked up, man. You was here first. That's fucked up.
Listen. Okay, hey guys. This is the Hall Docked Up. I guess we'll do the official intro now. I'm Chris. That's VJ. That's Penrose.
I'm in a Jersey parking lot in Target, and my man, grown ass, was on the back of the buggy holding on, and his girl was pushing him by the ass.
That's that love that's gonna last, okay?
By any means necessary.
Listen, from the ass cheeks,
the ass cheeks in the New Jersey parking lot, whatever you have to do.
Holy shit!
That's love.
So, hey guys, we're here to talk to you about a guy.
We're gonna talk to you about a lunatic.
Listen, here's the thing, right? I initially kind of like forgot about this story, right? So when I'm like reading it and I'm like, and so I'm like listening to like the first like 5 or 10 minutes of the documentary, and I'm like stomping my foot and like putting my hands on my hip, and I'm like, hey, that's his fucking right, and blah blah blah, and they're fucking with him. And then we got like 15 to 25 minutes in. And I was like, ooh, good thing I didn't tweet that.
I see this played out for you like it played out for me. I was
it
like,
really
yo,
did. I was like, he's a fucking American.
But I think so. For those of you who haven't watched this documentary,
What are we talking about?
It's called Tread.
What we talking about?
Yeah, it's called Tread, and it documents an incident that happened in Granby, Colorado, in 2004, if I'm not mistaken.
June 4th. I always hate when like crazy things happen on or around my birthday. It doesn't make me feel good.
Like you're having a great time, and then you're like, oh,
like I think I graduated high school like 2 days later. That's just crazy. Like all this shit was happening while I was just living my black ass life over here. But anyway.
This happens in Granby, Colorado, and what this documentary is about is kind of the events leading up to this incident that we're going to talk about from the perspectives of the townspeople in Granby, Colorado, as well as one Marvin Heemeyer, who is the central character or person in this story or in this documentary.
You talk about a nigga that got a manifesto, nigga. He got a manifesto. Do you know what I'm telling you?
And I think it's interesting. Like my mind called him like the main character, and I think he has main character syndrome, like very hard.
He does. Like me. If y'all ain't with the team, y'all against the team. Like just like I'm trying to tell y'all. Like I was.
That nigga said, "Fuck Granby as a staff record label and as a motherfucking crew."
Listen.
He was very upset. But I will say, I guess the first place to start is with this documentary. I guess the part that we're all talking about, the most interesting part is the way that it's actually like put together, because you get the perspective from Marv through the first half. And then we get the perspective from the way the townspeople and everyone else sees it in the second half. And let me tell you, they had what's that mean where the guy, I'm not gonna lie, they had us in the first half. He had
me. They did. I was like, God damn it, Marv, you coming in here as a fucking out of towner. These niggas is, and like as a person that's come into a place where as an out of towner, like I understand and know how that feels. And I was like, hey, they're fucking trying to like fucking box him out, nigga, because he's not from there. Because Granby's obviously, because I know none of you niggas have heard of it, it's a small ass town. Like, so like where did he come from? Did he come from Denver or? I can't remember where he came from.
He came out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then but oh no, he was in Boulder. He was in Boulder, Colorado. Yeah. But I'm saying before he was in Granby, he was in like Boulder. So I think Boulder's a slightly bigger town than like Granby. So like he comes in and he's got a muffler shop in Boulder. Everything's going great in Boulder, and then he sees an opportunity to move to another place, saving money, also he feels the freedom to like build his business and like do all the things that he likes to do. You know what I'm saying? Frolic in the grass and snowboard with it's not snowboard, but snow fucking, what do you call this?
So he rides snowboard.
There you go. I was like, what is this?
So I'm just gonna preface this by saying Granby, Colorado looks like one of those places where all the faces are white. I don't remember seeing a black person in the background. They didn't interview anybody. When they're walking on the street in some of the shots, it's not none. I'm fairly confident there's not a single person with any melanin except for the possibly judge of Asian descent, from what I gathered in the name.
Maybe. And I couldn't tell. So.
And she could be white and married some man. Hey, I don't know. But what I do know is I don't recall seeing any white people, and that is absolutely backed up by the fact that the main like entertainment in this place is them going up into the fucking mountains and snowmobiling around, to the point that our guy Marv here which Marv owns a muffler shop. Is that
muffler?
Yeah. Marv is a welder, owns a muffler shop. He's out here making specialty mufflers for the
Listen, if you don't have a Marv fucking bumper on your snowmobile, are you snowmobiling? Is what Granby is asking you. Like, because he came in there, and at first it was he seemed to be like doing everything that he felt like he needed to do to like live his life. People like only were coming to him to his muffler shop in Granby. Niggas was like I said, if you was calling yourself a fucking snowmobiler in Granby, your shit wasn't shit if you didn't have a Marv bumper on it. Like they said Marv's bumpers were so dope. Right. So here's a little what do you call it? Like a foreshadowing. They said that Marv's bumpers were so fucking good that all you had to do was just give it some gas and you was going through whatever the fuck you was trying to get through. So I'll just say that.
Marv real good at what Marv be doing. So
Marv be Marvin.
That's his shit. He got the snowmobile bumper market on lock. That's his shit.
He really did.
So
Granby gives me the feels of like if there was making a murderer too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see
like
that.
when they show like the layout of the place, I was like, it's probably a body over there.
Which they keep doing these sweeping aerial shots of this place, and like
it ain't shit there.
It is nothing there. Like they keep doing these. I don't know if it's supposed to be breathtaking, or we supposed to be taking in the trees, or
not breathtaking, bitch.
I'm really not sure, but in terms of shit I can see on Google Earth, it's real bottom of the like I don't know. Do people just do that? Like just peruse like Google Earth? Like that used to be a thing, like Google Earth.
Yeah.
It ain't shit over there. You can skip that part.
I remember this terrible college party I was at one time, and it was hella boring, and it wasn't like we came too early because it was like 2:00 in the morning, but it was just not happening, and there was a corner of niggas because remember you used to have like the computer just in the living room on that like big like wooden. Like fucking
wooden desk.
Right.
Okay, so it was a big wooden desk in the corner, and it was like 5 niggas like Google Earth my house, Google Earth my house. I was like, we're leaving. This is where I draw the line. If he don't turn that music up and light some weed up, then I don't have nothing for any of this.
Not in the party, just Google
Earth at a party, dog.
Like I'm trying to tell. It was 2:00 in the morning. That's just Google Earthing. No, Jay, we wouldn't want to go. When we're talking about tripping to Colorado, it's definitely not to Granby.
Not to Granby, but that's not
to Granby. There's nothing to do.
I don't actually want to rock
to Colorado.
Like I enjoy Denver very much. So if we're gonna go, let's go to the good part where at least they don't look like they got no edibles over there.
I don't think so.
Good over there. I don't want to go there. They don't even look like they got figures. Like they don't got none of the good shit from Colorado over there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like. Yeah.
Shout out to the people of Granby. My bad if y'all got the shit over there. I mean,
the property cheap. That's why Marv went.
So speaking of property, let's get into how we got to a documentary about Mr. Marvin Heemeyer. So he moves out there, and I guess this is 1992. So what actually brings this into a space to where a documentary needs to be made about it starts out as a dispute. So in 1992, Marv goes to an auction, and there's a piece of land, I guess like 2 acres of land that he buys at this auction. And he says, basically, this is shit that the bank is foreclosed on, and they're trying to get rid of it. So he says, according to Marv, because all of this in the first part of this will be from Marv's perspective. That's the easiest way to keep this.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's clear. So Marv says,
real quick. The way they shot it, the people was even acting like the nigga was the shit. The original way they shot it in the first half, everybody that came second in the first half, the nigga was alright. He was alright.
Yeah, everyone's Marv would get the shirt off his back. Marv was so amazing. Him and Trish was in love. Like
got the best bumpers in the game. Like
nothing.
Everybody only went to Marv for muffler shit and car shit. The sheriff was like, I get serviced by him all the time. That sounded weird, but you know what I meant.
I just go to the back and Marv services me right up.
Oh shit! Yeah, like right.
Hey, this is my muffler.
Top
too.
me off, everything. But anyway, so yeah, like, again, with VJ, like VJ said, like the way that it's filmed, like you kind of are like, damn, why? Like, so please tell me why you always hating. Like that's basically like the vibes I get.
Yeah, it gives you big hater vibes from everybody. So he buys this land, and I think so
wait, we gotta talk about the auction.
Right. So interspersed throughout this, we will get tapes of Marv just talking because Marv recorded himself.
Manifesto.
Yeah, like, so Marv has the tapes, and so we hear these tapes of Marv. So he is basically in these tapes, kind of journaling what is happening to him as it's happening. So by Marv's best recollection, he says they go to this auction, and he goes to buy this building, I guess, on
yes.
And he says nobody's bidding on it, and then there's one initial bid, and then he bids. And then Cody Dorchev is there with Greg Harris, who we will sit with at some point in this. And he says basically that Cody is there. Cody ain't got no money. He calls Cody a broke ass bitch.
Bum ass.
He said he's a bum ass bitch, and that he was there with Greg, and Greg was the one with the money. And Cody was like, "Hey, Greg, buy me this building." Shoulder shrug, shoulder shrug. And Greg was like, "Nah, it's not worth 50 grand. You just gonna have to let him have it." And so they leave pissed off, or so Marv says he gets the building for $30,000 or $40,000.
Right.
And when he gets the bid, he says that Cody and Greg come up to him in the back and they have words.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He said that the way that Marv tells it is that Cody walked up, he didn't know who the fuck this nigga was from nobody, and fucking Cody gets his face like, "You a bum ass, you don't nobody know you over here, I'ma fucking get that shit. This ain't the end." Like, just like basically all the like most outlandish shit that a nigga that was bidding against something that you were bidding on could say to you. And Marv is like, "I don't even know his name. He just started yelling at me." Like,
it was very mid-level, like villain origin story, like not like good.
Yes,
villain, but like mid-villain. Oh, you bid on this property I wanted. Now I'm gonna go back here and make a scene. Like it was very
right. Yeah,
curses. You'll rule the day. Like it was very weird. But all he's gonna do is like weird. Meet him in town and like forget to put his whipped cream on his coffee or something. Like it was.
So, but at this point, Marvin got us thinking that Cody is out for blood, that Cody is super pissed. And wait. And let's talk about how Marvin was calling Cody. Did we say a broke ass bitch? Because he was talking about how the other dude was funding everything. Yeah, nigga. So I'm sorry. That was just really funny to me. I wrote it. But anyway, so like Marv really
very clear in them tapes. Cody
he really did it. He really did. Nigga, Cody is a poor ass bitch, and the only reason he could even contest with me, nigga, was because his homie was there. And his homie gets on the camera later like, "I didn't give them this nigga no money."
Y'all gonna see the switch up, but
oh my god.
Yeah, so then shit gets weird. So apparently Granby is like in the middle of nowhere, and when you're in the middle of nowhere like that in a small town, you often have your own sewer and water, and it means you're not getting it from the city. So a lot of times as you get bigger, it becomes more of a strain to not be on like the city grid or on the county grid. So then you basically you'll put in a bid to incorporate. So then you are getting trash, water, sewer from the larger surrounding city or county, which is what Granby does. The problem with that is that if you live in Granby and you're like one of those off the grid people or any of that shit, or you have a business, you are now responsible for making sure your business gets hooked up to the sewer lines.
So you can buy the fucking property for cheap and all of that, but if the property is all the way the fuck over there, you're gonna have to spend maybe upwards to $80,000 to get your sewage and stuff to go to the main pipeline that's like 300, 500 yards away.
Right. So in this case, the muffler shop that Marv buys is about 400 feet from the nearest sewer hookup.
Right.
So 80 grand.
Exactly. What were you saying?
Didn't that man say have a champagne checkbook with a soda appetite or some shit? He He had the money. He could
You
have
talking
spent that
about him
money.
talking
when
about
they-
Cody? Wait. Are you talking about him talking about Cody?
His signal might be out.
Oh shit.
He's going to come back, but
All
yeah,
right.
I think he did say something to that respect. But the way I've always heard that saying, and the way my grandpa always said it was, you had Cadillac taste and bicycle money.
Oh, not bicycle money.
That's the way it was always told to me: Cadillac taste and bicycle money. So the champagne soda pop makes sense too.
Okay, I got it.
So yeah, basically he's saying this nigga got some amazing ideas to be broke.
Right.
You can't afford shit over there. Quit dreaming. Which we'll find out later is not quite the truth. Not quite, but so yeah, they feuding over him having
This
sewer stuff. Yeah.
Basically.
So he's basically like, fuck this. I'm not gonna do this.
Marv doesn't want to hook up to the thing because he's like, fuck, you're basically asking for almost triple of what I fucking bought this property for in order for me to hook it up to this. And then that's when Marv starts to say, this fucking town is out to get me. Basically, that's when he's like, basically Marv feels like these niggas let him buy this property knowing that he was going to have to shell out more money, but also like, that's not what they're here for. Like,
yeah, I don't think they were picking on him, but that's the way he sees it. So Marv starts to do these lawsuits and whatnot. So and then they have the city council. So Marv is pissed off. He's going against the city council and they're fighting about it and they're going toe to toe. And he's suing the entire town because they want him to hook up to the sewer line. It was a lot. Yeah, he was very mad.
So a phrase that he likes to use a lot to describe Granby is like good old boys. And then we immediately, after like kind of having that description from Marv and knowing about the hookup and all this shit like that, then we kind of move over to like learning about the Thompson family. And so if you know anything about like small towns, there's usually like that like one family that has literally been there for centuries and centuries and forever and ever and a day. And like most of the time that usually means that they like own a lot of the property or own a lot of the land and things like that, only because they've been there so fucking long. So the Thompson family is this family in Granby. Ugly, very ugly family. Like, and I just like listen, niggas be trying to say Kodak Black is ugly. Like, he ugly, but like, have you seen white people? Like, sorry. It's just I think Larry's face bothered me the most.
Hey Tim. Okay, yeah, because we have some interviews with them together and his neck sunk in. It looks very uncomfortable. And
he looks like this.
He looks like he's melting. Like it's a lot.
Like that.
He looks like his face and neck are melting into his clavicles and shoulder.
I mean, but that's what happens when you the fucking top fucking family in town and you eat whatever the fuck, you do whatever the fuck. Like, you lose your neck if you want to. Like,
and here's the thing, like his white ass family, they look white. They look like what white people who don't like have money to like take care of themselves look like, but they have money. They just live in the middle of nowhere and don't give a fuck. So it's not even like they're broke. Like they're like redneck rich. Exactly. So like they have all the finest hunting equipment, but nobody's like going to the dentist regularly. That type of shit.
Goodbye.
So you're looking at them, and so they look like those type of white people, but Larry really just takes the cake because he is, as my grandma would have put it, rode hard and put up wet is what he looks like.
I don't even know.
Yeah, he looks like he was rode hard and put up wet. And that's all I kept thinking when I saw him. Okay. Got it. So for the other city non-country people, it is a term that refers to horses, because horses, when you ride them, they sweat and stuff. You have to like brush them and dry them off before you put them up, or else they get sick.
Bitch, I literally did not know that. I was like, what does that mean?
Like, and put up wet. It literally looks like they look like a gross, sweaty, wet ass sick horse.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, great. Thanks. That was educational. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
that is my favorite thing to call somebody that's been living hard. That is my favorite.
Listen,
thing.
And now I understand.
That is somebody that lives hard, whether it's meth, whether it's whatever, rode hard and put up with. Absolutely.
Exactly.
But we get off of Larry's neck, wherever it is. Him and Benzino's necks are in the same place. A better place.
Exactly.
I don't know where it is.
Okay.
Somewhere.
So Thompson family fucking top kahunas in the fucking town, basically. They own mad shit in the town. Like, basically, like, to me, it seems like, low-key, if you want to really get anything done in the town, you probably got to work with them on some level.
Because I think they said a bunch of like at first, because from what I gathered, Granby's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So at some point when people started moving there was nowhere to live. So it looked like they might have owned like some hotels and shit in the beginning, or like some lodges, or like bed and breakfast type shit. Some places for people to stay while they were working. And that gradually expanded into them owning like land and businesses. So they probably have like rental properties and shit, is what I gathered from it. But they also have businesses because
yeah,
they work and also have businesses too. So all joking aside, like Marv is talking like cash money shit about these people, like they're just sitting there, like not working, having money, flaunting, you know, throwing their money in the local McDonald's in the air, talking about triple doubles for it, like, you know, everybody can supersize.
You get a 10-piece, so you get a 10-piece.
Great sales for everybody, but it really isn't. But they go to work every day and they're hardworking people. But Marv makes it seem like they just is sitting around doing nothing, collecting a check, and that's
just literally plotting on him. That's the only thing they get up and do in the morning.
I said the villain origin story. Like they're sitting inside of like their warehouse where they go to work in dingy overalls every day. With their boots on their dusty ass boots kicked up on like some cheap ass desk in a warehouse. Talking about how can we fuck with Marv? Like fingers tinted and everything. Ooh, how we gonna fuck with Marv today? I can't wait. And it's like,
seriously. But like that's the theme is like as we get to know more and more about the situation, like it's like on Marv's side, it's just like he's just adding people to the list, like of people that he feels like are like fucking wronging him and like treating him like shit. So basically, if you ask Marv, he says the Granby way. If you ask the Thompson family, they're gonna say the Granby way is probably working hard and all of that bullshit. And then if you ask Marv is probably gonna say that the Granby way is just to screw over your neighbor, because that's basically how he felt they were doing him. Yeah. And again, I want to just, I'm not trying to like give this nigga Marv no like props or kudos, but like I just want to keep reminding y'all that like most of these people that live in Granby have always lived in Granby. He is one of these people that have transplanted to that city and is trying to basically become one of them. So,
and it's not a big place, because normally people transplant to somewhere and it doesn't really matter because the place is so big. Who gives a fuck? Everybody transplants there.
Right.
And Granby, he's kind of big news because nobody is going out of their way to move to Granby. So, yeah, he's the talk of the town, and he certainly is the outsider there. Mm-hmm. So I guess at some point we find out that there is some property, or the beginnings of what would be property, between Marv and his sewer line. So keep in mind, just keep this little nugget. So basically, for him to hire a contractor and lay the piping and everything that he needs to be on the sewer system, he's looking at $80,000.
Right. And like I think they said anywhere between like 40 and 80, but like it was probably going to be on the closer lines of 80.
So yeah, for how far he was from the line, he was looking at the top end of that, about 80. And
they show you, and I was goofily just being like, why they just can't put it right there? But like then like there's like property, and then also you don't know what other kind of lines are running that way and stuff like that. So like it's like, you know, it's technical or whatever.
Y'all will see the picture of like where it is.
Yes.
Basically, it's like they show the property is like a square in the middle. And then like at the top of the screen, 400 yards away, there's pipe. But then down the side of the screen, there's also pipe, and he would be closer to that. But it looks like there are homes or something right there.
There's something there that's prohibiting that shorter way to get there. So that's where we are. Cody, the nigga that threatened his life at the thing. Yeah. So Cody actually ends up buying some of the property in between. Is that right? Because he does like concrete, so he has a concrete plant. So he buys a property in that little cluster or whatever, basically right next door to Marv.
Yep, he's about to build a concrete plant right there.
So Marv does mufflers, Cody does concrete. Marv has an issue, my nigga. He's basically like, okay, I'm over here trying to muffle, and then you guys are about to be over here doing y'all concrete shit. It's gonna be mad dusty. It's gonna be mad noisy. It's gonna like run away my customers and stuff like that. But I'm like, aren't mufflers dirty? Aren't they noisy? What's happening? Like, so, but Marv is having a really, really hard time trying to envision himself sharing this space right here. Like,
and I think it's just because he felt towards Cody, because it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, he's upset, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, that's like you being upset. Like, if you have, I don't know, like if you have a bakery and then some motherfuckers put a smoothie shop next to your bakery, like, to me it seems like that's the level of like upset. Like, it's absurd upsetness. Like, you're mad because it seems like everything in that little plot would be like industrial shit. So why the fuck do you care? Like,
why do you matter?
Mufflers, bro. Like, who gives a fuck?
Like, concrete and mufflers don't usually be like beefing about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are two different kinds of things. Like, and then like, I just think that although later on the town council does bring up some good points to that, Marv's complaining about this like minuscule things did like put some things into perspective that they didn't think about, like some environmental things, and that's dope, and I get that, and that's cool. But like, just thinking of like the actual situation, like, it's not going to be that much. It's not going to be that much different from you doing what you need to do. Like, they're not gonna block your customers from coming into your garage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, but I think a lot of that is, like we said, he has main character syndrome. Like, it's about him. And the only reason he brought up these other external things is so that he could get the residential people in the area
get on board
on his side.
Yeah, and it kind of works.
It does.
Because he had people come into the council meetings speaking up and kind of like backing up the shit that he was saying. So it was working. He was starting to have like a little group of people behind him, not necessarily again fighting for what the fuck he wants. High schools. not so much for like the shit that he wants, but just you know how like when you have an issue, but like everybody's not super on board with your issue because they don't give a fuck about your issue. But if you can find that one little minuscule thing that like might possibly in like 2 years affect them, then like that's the shit that they're gonna start harping on and like making a big deal out of. That's basically what he was doing here. It's just kind of like.
Yeah, I feel like it's like in a movie where they have two people that are on like the good guy and the bad guy, but then they try to like defeat somebody else because that's their one common interest. Oh, I hate you. Oh, I hate you too. But we're gonna make it work. Like, that's
exactly.
Like I don't like any of you. You all suck. But also, like, hey.
Right.
Concrete factory.
That's gonna suck for you too.
Your porch might get dusty. What you think?
What you think? You want a dusty ass porch? Your neighbors come and be like, "Ooh, she got a dusty ass porch."
Like, we're gonna talk about you at the post office if your porch is dusty all the time, Eileen. You need to come to the city council.
Listen, and listen, and let Marv tell it. Niggas be talking at the postal office, nigga. At the bank,
everywhere. He said they laugh at you, they whisper,
they snicker, point at you, like let Marv tell it.
They postage stamps, they done got a book of stamps, they holding it up, giggling and shit, laughing at you from behind they 2-day parcel select box. Like, it's a lot. It's
and
a lot.
Again, we're like kind of making fun of this, but like.
Well, the moral of this story is they didn't make shit work either, and that's the
problem. That is why we're here. This is why there's a story to tell.
So
Okay, so Marv's at the town meetings or whatever, blah blah blah. Cody. Now somebody did. Now again, guys, because we're making fun of Marv and shit, but when you're initially watching it, like you are kind of on his side because you're really only hearing his side, and you're really only like seeing like what's happening with him, right? So, okay, I'm gonna mute you until you set up. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right, cool. Okay, so all right, so basically, so the way they're telling the story, like I said, you kind of believe Marv like a little bit at first, and then like we kind of get the story from everybody else's. But somebody did describe Cody as a fiery guy. So at the time that it was described like that, I was like, oh, this nigga Cody is a real fucking villain. Like, he really don't want this. He don't want my nigga Marv to live. Like,
which we find out may or may not actually be the case. But
right.
Again,
right.
So Cody, so basically, eventually after, because here's the thing, like the city council says, because we get interviews with them and they're like, well, we're not here to just make Marv's life miserable. We're also here to look after the citizens of Granby as a whole. So when Cody says he's going to build this concrete plant, that's jobs, that's a concrete place here that we can use to build facilities that helps the city grow, that gives more jobs to the city, that's more revenue and income for us because people from surrounding areas come and do business. So in their mind, this is a win-win for everybody.
Right.
And so then
I'm mad, Dean. Hey, Rose, look at the screen. Look at him. Look, he froze again. Look.
Oh, he's.
Yo, I'm coming from my neck.
Okay, so
all I listen.
Yeah,
Cody. My bad. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. What are you gonna say?
It's been a ghetto day. But anyhow, go ahead. I was gonna say, I tried to be the bougie nigga and use my hotspot the other day, and then I used up all my shit. So then I tried to jump on with y'all, and the internet was like, "No, nigga, no." Had to get to the house. My bad.
That's okay.
But
okay,
yeah,
right. So remember how we told y'all? So all this shit is happening, but then remember how we told you guys about that fucking sewer line? And how Marv was like definitely not doing that shit. Well, the city was like, hey, Marv, nigga, you literally, that's disgusting. And you literally have to fucking hook up to it. So it doesn't really matter how you feel about the cost or anything like that. You have to hook up to it. And they basically told him that, did they tell him that he couldn't be on property until?
Basically, they said they were going to charge him $100 a day until he hooked up to the sewer line. And then on top of that, he could not use the business in any way until it was hooked up to the sewer line.
Right. You guys, and so this nigga Marv snatched out his fucking checkbook. And you know how like, you know how when you be mad at a nigga and you gotta like pay him back or some shit? Like you like hurry up and fucking scribble that shit so you hope the fucking bank can't read it. That's basically what Marv did.
And then like put on the memo line about them being like liars and cheats or some shit. Like
he said to all the bum bitches and niggas.
Super bad. Like, and the part that's crazy about that is like it's the city hall, like it's not even the people, like the poor people at City Hall didn't level shit. That the clerk, that poor lady just wanted to go to fucking lunch at 12 and he comes stomping in there mad because to add insult to injury, after he thought he was gonna be slick and call them all whatever the fuck on the check, they had to send a check back with a note and be like, hey, so I know you're real pissed off right now, but you know how when you write the numbers out and you spell them on the check line, that's not the number you wrote in the box.
I don't know what you're trying to tell us to take from you. It's not matching.
Which number?
Which one do you want me to take? 51.
Right.
This nigga didn't know if you wanted $35 gone, 35.
Yeah, like you couldn't really tell on the actual on the write out line. You couldn't tell. Like you could in the box, you could tell what the number was. It was $3,351. But on the write out line, you could not fucking tell. So he was fucking pissed. Like he's like, you motherfuckers really are trying to end you're trying to fucking like ruin my life. Like that's basically what he thought at that point. So he gets an attorney, right? And then that's when he files a lawsuit against Granby. Now, do we want to tell what really happened here now, or do we want to wait?
Nah, let's get into it because.
Okay.
Well,
how
much more do we really have to tell about? Because basically, this is kind of the whole dispute, right? Like from Marv's game, like these people are fucking him, and this goes on for 10 years. To his recollection, he said something to the fact that like he tried to talk to the Thompsons once, and he ran up to the one of them, and he was like, "You owe me $300,000," and blahgy, and dude was like, "I don't owe you $300,000. I'm not giving you $300,000. There's no fucking way you're getting $300,000 from me. Over my dead body." And he was like, "Okay, that's fine, but I'm gonna get it from you one way or the other." Now, this is Marv. This is Marv telling us that everybody's doing him wrong, but he done ran up on somebody and demanded $300,000. And when dude was like, "Fuck out of here," then he says the man allegedly yelled at him, "Suck my dick," and the man was like, "I
didn't." He said I didn't say that. I don't even remember that shit like for real like that. But okay,
nobody
so
remembers these incidents with Marv. But Marv.
Which is what we're getting.
I wanted at least one person to remember a situation to be like, "Nah, I remember when nigga Cody wrung this nigga by his neck." Like,
so now we.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Because I might have said this while I was kicked off. My man's at the city hall, whatever. What was up with my man's big, young?
Oh, I was gonna block that out. Oh. So he had a mustache and a goatee, but then he also had
a piece of the goatee.
A piece of shaved hair like this on the side of his face, like but on the side, like it was like it was parallel across his face on both sides.
He looked like he was about to tell you
a connection from here. It was just across.
He looked like he was about to tell
purposeful struggle beard. How do you have?
He looks like
on purpose?
But it was like a little, you know, you put slits like it was like whatever the beard your eyebrows are. Like it was so fucking weird. And then it wasn't like it was patchy because it was a full fucking strip of hair, which means he went in with a razor or clippers and cut out the parts.
He looks like he was about to take you to a diner, drive-in, or a dive. Do you hear what I'm telling you?
It looked like he was gonna tie you to the train tracks.
and
run away with the black cloak. It was
that nigga looks like he hangs out at drive-in, motherfucker.
Always.
He goes to the drive-in, but only hangs at the concession stand. He don't even stay for the movie. Like,
I cannot.
He stands up
and eat the popcorn
fries and makes comments about 15-year-old girls. That's absolutely right.
He's weird looking, but
these high school girls.
So
I keep getting older and they stay the same age.
I still can't. Because I know Matthew McConaughey was playing a role, but I still be like,
it's too good.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
So when Marv filed the lawsuit, the way that we hear it originally is that he filed it because they were being unfair to him. And then they went in there and was like, "Fuck this nigga and his lawsuit," and dismissed it. Turns out though that they were like, "Yo, we'll ease up on this fucking shit about this sewer thing. Like we'll chill on the fines and shit if you drop this lawsuit." And he refused to. So I just wanted to make that clear as well.
Which I guess this brings us to the part where everybody kind of flips on Marv. So we can just wind it back to the beginning and we're going to hear from everybody else's standpoint since we're about halfway through. So back to the auction house. Cody and Greg have a different story to tell.
It's Gus.
Gus. Sorry. Gus. Excuse me, Gus. Greg.
Gus Greg.
It makes it sound so much more redneck whitish.
Gus. Cody and Gus. Cody and Gus.
Let me recap this as southernly as I can. So, Cody and Gus were at the auction house, and Marv was there too. See, and now Marv got a wild hair in his ass because he thinks that Cody and Gus were mad at him about that building or whatever, and they didn't even want And then he said Cody was broke and Cody had his checkbook. Cody just left the building. Gus and Cody just left. They didn't talk to him. They don't even know Marv. Why is Marv so upset? We need to find Marv a good woman to settle down with.
My man, you ain't even tipped his hat to him on the way out.
Okay. I had to recap.
He literally said, "God bless you and yours" on the way out.
And I fully believe they did. And so we get Gus, and Gus is like, "What?" He was like, "I wasn't paying attention to him. I don't even know him. We just were looking at the shit." Cody was like, "Huh? That
right."
That would have
Cody
been
was like, "That might be interesting later." Then
They don't.
They literally were like, "Tell us."
When that nigga that said that'd have been the perfect part for. I was where?
With who?
Who told you that?
Right.
And that's really
Hey Cody, you know some nigga named Marv?
I sure don't, Gus.
And that's exactly what it was. Gus sits there and he was like, "Who? Gus looked legitimately confused. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? We went there. The bank had some raggedy ass, cheap ass shit I wasn't trying to buy. Cody ain't want that broke down ass shit either. And we dipped. Like, he really was like, it wasn't nothing there we wanted. We left.
It's true. It's
They
true.
said we didn't even look at Marv. We were like, we don't know what the fuck Marv was doing. Marv don't even go here. He doesn't even go here. Like, they didn't. The least of their fucking concerns was Marv's ass in the back of their goddamn building. They was like, "Congratulations on your building" or whatever. Like, they don't know.
Right. Exactly. So Cody denies that. Then they go to the Thompson brothers. No ill intent. Niggas don't even remember. He talking about he told him to suck his dick. He's like, definitely didn't say that. Like, don't nobody be worried about Marv. Like, literally.
They look like incest baby.
We talked about it.
Can we talk about the Thompson brothers and them big dumbass lopsided head?
You sound like you underwater with them. Hold on, wait. Let me find Dean's comment again.
Penrose and technology.
Right.
But
all right.
like, we don't know. And then somewhere along the way, they showed us their collection of die-cast trucks.
I mean, I guess like it was fun for them. Like, I was just like,
like, we're in the middle of discussing some
tragic shit, the craziest shit that ever happened to your whole fucking town.
Yeah,
like,
y'all were like, "Let us show you our toys," and it was like, okay, y'all didn't like
yeah.
that.
That picture do look like it's from Panera Bread, nigga.
Yeah, it was weird. Don't nobody fuck with that man like that, and he thought they were all out to get him. And so then we get back to the building and him not being able to pay for the sewer stuff. So he's not doing any work because he doesn't have any sewer, whatever. He's basically he's paid for this lawyer. He's like $150,000 into this now. And his friend, which I don't remember the friend's name, but the friend was just like, I told him it's not worth it. Just sell it and be done.
They're going to always have more money than you. Like,
and then we find out that they tried to buy it. Like, which I guess before we get that far, there's a reporter, Broward. Is that what his name was?
Mm-hmm. Patrick Brower, yep.
Yeah, so basically, he also is like, well, I agreed to do a story on it, but because he was so busy trying to snowmobile every goddamn day, he was never in the muffin shop.
Listen, but let Marv tell it. But let Marv tell it is that this nigga was supposed to come and interview him and have this whole like big story on him, and he was full of shit and all he do is tell lies. But Patrick said, nigga, I ran a whole ad for you for free, nigga. Like, so like, what are you saying? And then they showed it.
He gave him $200 worth of ad space for his trouble for free.
After you didn't show up for 4 days. Yeah,
because he did try to give you the interview. tried to give him the interview. He was too busy fucking snowmobiling.
So I don't know about y'all.
Up there with 16-year-old little homeboy.
Listen, he was living a dream up there. These 40-year-old men, I couldn't drink with him or anything, and I had to go home to my mom. But it's the best time of my life. And I was like, it ain't shit out there. He must be the lone teenager in this bitch, because it's no way in hell.
Right. So I don't know about you guys, but when I'm, plotting on the revenge of people, and when I'm like, planning my manifestos and stuff, I get most of my inspiration in the hot tub. And you'll see here that me and Marv are very similar.
Well, as a partial,
do you make sure your hot tub overlooks?
Like I got a nice view, so I can like really clear my head, have a beer.
So.
My snowmobile's parked in the back.
Since I'm not redneck rich, I will have to use my tub, and that will have to be so, when I have my shower wine and I turn the heat up real hot in the shower, then that's when I devise my best plan. So when I have my bath beer, bath beer, as you do. That's when you do it. Bath beer. That's when the best ideas come out.
So he had an epiphany, and he says that it really wasn't him. Like at this point, it's God's will. Like God saw how all you niggas is acting, and God said, tear this shit the fuck up. And he was like, your will be done.
I know God has got to be tired of these white men saying that he's ordaining them to do all this. I know God got to be tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gonna have us snowmobile in the desert. You didn't know?
Yeah. So when I go, I'm gonna drag it all the way up to Mount Charleston and shit.
She redneck rich now. She can afford to buy snow.
That's what the man said to him. Like, listen,
he literally said it's above me now. Like he said, it's above me now.
That's literally what he said, though. That's literally what
Look,
he said. Yo,
it's been 10 years, and at this point, my manager is upset.
And I can no longer be involved. I've given it to corporate and whatever.
And whatever judgment that corporate brings down on you is what corporate brings down on you.
That's what I gotta go with.
That's what I have to do. I just have to do what corporate says in this.
Now you can wait. You can wait in the lobby if you like till the manager come out.
You can speak to him. But I'm gonna go ahead and get in this fucking monster machine.
So I'm gonna head on back into the shop and look at the mufflers and you wait out here.
So
now, if you need a Mars bumper, I got you. Other than that,
you can go ahead and wait outside.
Right.
Dusty shit. So what we find out is that at some point he has got offered. So essentially after a 10-year battle with these people, he's finally kind of like defeated, right? Because at this point he's got this grand plan and this manifesto, and so he was like, well, out of my hands, whatever. So what we find out is that Cody, even though he is a hothead with a terrible temper, at some point he had went to Marv and offered him an easement. He was going to let him hook his sewer shit up to the goddamn concrete plant. If he was like, all you got to do is drop the lawsuits against me and the city, I will let you hook this shit up to the sewer right the fuck here beside us. Won't cost you a dime. Just do the shit. And he was like,
fuck you, boy.
Like, fuck you. You could suck a dick. So if anybody told anybody to suck a dick, it was definitely Marv. Just so we're clear.
Okay, so then all this happens, and then Marv goes back to him. He's like, nigga, just sell me the fucking property. And then he was like, or Cody goes back to Marv and says, just sell me the property. And then Marv's like, all right, give me $250,000. And then Cody like was like this, and he like handed him $250,000. He's like, nah, nigga, I don't want that. And he was like, make it $375. And then he was like, nah, nigga, I don't want that.
I was just bullshitting.
I was just fucking with you. I don't want that shit. I mean, fuck with you like that.
Right.
It's insane. So we find out basically that like Marv spent the first half of this calling Cody a broke bum ass bitch. And in fact, Cody's not a broke ass bitch.
He had the 250. He had the 375. Like, that's a big jump. When a nigga got $250,000, they usually don't have 375.
The man said, "Fuck it, 375." He said, "Well, here, give me back that check, and I'll fix it like you had to fix yours." Like, that man money is long. He was not fucking, which furthers the point that he did not give a fuck about that $30,000 fucking warehouse. He did not care.
He didn't care. So then we go. At this point, we fast forward to what?
Nobody. He ain't had to be like, let me talk to somebody. None of that shit. That nigga was
he
like,
had to he pulled out his motherfucking checkbook and got to write it. He ain't had to call.
He didn't call his granddad. He didn't even call an accountant, nigga. He said, "Here it is."
He didn't pull up his Bank of America app to be like, "I need
nigga
to out of savings." Nothing.
He wasn't lying.
And he was an old school nigga. He was an old school nigga. That nigga reached in his back pocket and grabbed the actual checkbook. Like,
an actual checkbook, nigga. Listen,
he don't have the type of bill fold where it's like it folds like a regular. When he got the one that folds like a flat, so to speak.
Right. Yes.
The son of a bitch out his back pocket and got to write the check.
Not at all, Scoots. Not at all. So at this point, we're at 2002. Is that right? At this point, Marv didn't sell his property to Cody. Marv goes all the way to California. Well, not all the way, but to California, to buy a bulldozer. I don't know nothing about bulldozers, but it's a Komatsu D355 bulldozer,
big ass
right?
Bulldozer. He got
it's big as fuck.
Got a great deal on it. Had it, drove on a flatbed back to Colorado.
Now, once it got to Colorado, I'm thinking, what the fuck is he gonna do with it? He puts a for sale sign on it, and it stays there for a year.
But at this point, he's closed down the muffler shop because he can't work out of it because of the city. Right. And he just goes on a fucking snowmobile expedition. He takes the one and just says, "Into the wild."
Yes.
But the nigga pointed the bulldozer. Hold on, don't forget. He buys the bulldozer, gets it to Colorado, parks that bitch in the driveway, puts a for sale sign on it, and dips. But make sure that the most menacing, intimidating part of this bulldozer points right at Cody's motherfucking front door of his business. Like,
that's true.
That is true.
That's true.
Like, look, bitch, I'm out. Don't come over here fucking with my shit. And trust me, if this bulldozer is moved, man,
I'm gonna be back.
You catching these hands when I get back.
So basically, this happens, and he gets back finally from snowmobile extravaganza. I guess I don't.
Didn't he go to Florida too?
He just was traveling. I don't know. Buddy went on sabbatical.
Look, the nigga went to Florida. Remember, he went back home to Washington because this was around the time his dad died. He went home to Washington. He went to Florida. And he did snowmobiling. And it was on each of these trips, he was kind of doing his last hurrahs of shit that made him happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because niggas building this nigga. Listen, I guess we are at this point of talking about building this goddamn bulldozer, right?
We are almost there, basically.
Is that where we are?
The only thing I was gonna say, right before we talk about that, the only thing I was gonna say was that so he sold, when he put everything up for auction, he sold everything but the bulldozer and the property that he was in. Then he sold that property. Was it to Cody?
Yeah, I think it ended up it
was to somebody else, right? It was the other guy. Fuck,
he sold it to that. Yeah, he sold it to it was a family. It wasn't Cody. They had something to do with Cody. But they ended up buying because remember, Cody said 375. He gave it to him, and he ended up selling everything to these dudes for $400,000.
For $400,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So now he sold it to them, but then he was back renting, right? A space for the bulldozer and for him to work in.
Yeah, until he was able to get rid of it. Because remember, he put everything up for auction, and on his manifesto tapes, that was one of the things he brought up, that everything sold at auction but this building and the bulldozer.
And it has to mean something. That
Right,
has to be. There has to be a reason.
If divine
That's a message from
intervention
God.
was supposed to happen, then the bulldozer would have been sold. It would.
And it's God's plan. Hashtag God's plan.
Plan.
God's plan.
Yeah, he said it didn't. Hey, he said the bulldozer's what I need. They ain't sell the bulldozer ain't get bought. The Lord
I must use this as an instrument of some kind.
Y'all didn't know Marv wrote that for Drake?
I mean, it checks out. It checks out. So
it does. So he in his backspace, they say they go do a walkthrough. Because they have to insure the entire property, which means they got to walk through that shit. They walking through there. He got tarps on shit, and they like, Marv, what you doing in here? And he was like, y'all nosy as fuck. Don't worry about that. You in white people business. You, even though you white too, mind your white business. I'm mind mine.
Right.
Pay for the insurance. Get the fuck out of here. Did the rent check clear? Great. Move. So they instead of them paying attention, they scurried on out. And let him continue his bulldozer. So basically, he in there fortifying the bulldozer. Basically, he moves all his metal parts and all the shit from the muffler shop in there, and he's in there, Bob the Builder, and the fuck out this bulldozer in the dead of night. Like they're leaving the concrete place, and the rest of the building at 6, going home to their families. Marv staying up all night with the welding helmet on, getting to it.
Let me see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can pull up a picture for you guys.
Yeah, Marv.
You guys can see what that shit looks like.
Yeah, it was a lot. He done fortified the goddamn bulldozer. It looks like a fucking tank. Like it literally looks like a tank with eye holes. It's some wild shit. Like he was back there getting busy with that goddamn welding. Like it was crazy. Like he was really back there getting it together. Which I guess that
So I don't know if you can see it. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. But yeah, that's basically what that shit looks like. It looks fucking insane.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
it looks
crazy.
like, to me, it looks like a locomotive. Like it looks like a steel locomotive. And like the front engine train, that's what it looked like to me. So that
shit. Y'all remember the game Twisted Metal?
Yeah. With the school bus, right?
That shit looked like some shit from Twisted Metal. Look like some shit you're supposed to get in the little arena with and try to fuck a nigga whole life up with. That's what that looks like.
It's pretty fucking crazy.
I would have drove that
joint. Wait, where you got this truck at?
What truck are you at?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Tell me more. What is this?
So Penrose said it earlier, but
spilling tea in this motherfucker.
I know, right? In 2004, Marv's dad died. I just want to bring this up just because it's important to know about how the money went, right? So that $400,000 and all the proceeds that he got from selling all that shit, he gave it. He said he's gonna tweet it. He gave it to his dad. And his dad ended up willing it all out individually to his brother and sisters, right? Is that right?
Yeah, 2 brothers, 1 sister. Yeah.
So, and while I think at first like glance that might not seem like anything, but in actuality, all of the money that he had at the time that he made the decision to, carry out hashtag God's plan, it was going to be so convoluted and tied up that like nobody could get their hands back on that money, like to be able to give it to the Thompsons or to whoever the fuck shit he fucking ruined, basically.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, his beer bath. He had this all planned out, so he absolutely went there knowing that he was like, yeah, he's not gonna give it back. They aren't getting it back, and I'm gonna make it as difficult as possible for them to recoup anything.
Oh shit!
Was in a hot tub taking beer bombs from God, like, oh, word? Yeah, we're gonna give all this money to Pop, and we about to give it in.
Look.
Is this the Kanye truck?
Yeah,
wow.
That actually.
Scoots wasn't lying.
What the fuck is this?
I don't. This is his.
Truck.
That's literally the truck. It's just black. That's crazy.
Is he gonna go bulldoze him in the Calabasas house he shared with that lady?
Okay, so
somebody go pick up North. She's the only one I know and like.
she is the only one I know.
Pick that one up. What's going on?
Ain't one name like Elgin or Chicago or something.
That's the little baby one's named Chicago. Little girl.
Just like niggas buy Yeezy shoes, somebody's going to buy that truck.
That's that.
What was that? That's like a scary. Oh, okay. Something over there. I was like, oh, that was so scary. He's asked when he drive to deflect the child support. Goodbye.
Okay, you go ahead and log out. Thank you. Log out.
That's enough out of you, Scoot.
Go ahead and log out for me, baby. That's okay. Go ahead. Your computer privileges have been revoked. Go ahead.
Okay. So Trisha, we don't really talk about her too much, but she was like the only person that like had any kind of like for real relationship with Marv. It wasn't his wife. She was
that was his gal.
Yeah, that was his bitch, right?
That was his
and
yeah, that was his girl.
What happened? Well, they just kind of I don't know why. Oh, he was crazy. Okay, well,
I did ass think it was one of those things where they were enjoying each other's time, having a good time. But he just was, like at some point this became an all-consuming thing, and that can't be.
Yeah, true.
That can't be good for your relationship, and because they don't ever really say what happened. Just that eventually she sees him at the dentist office she works for because they're trying to get him fitted for a crown, and then he just doesn't come back or something.
Right.
That's the last time.
Well, he can't. Bitch, what are you coming back for? He got shit to do.
True. But they didn't know that. So she says that he hugs her and all this stuff. Yeah, she says he hugs her and they talk, and it was lovely and stars and hearts and rainbows, and she was glad she got to see him.
And she told him to leave Granby.
Right, yeah, she did. She told that nigga just leave Granby County. He like, nah, I'm coming back to get my crown. Just like he told his man, like, nah, we about to go snowmobiling next month, my nigga.
Don't trip.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm good. No, I'm not mad no more. It's fine. Shit.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's good. It's great. It's great. Unless I twitching and shit the whole time he's saying it. But yeah, he's telling him everything's cool. It's good. We're gonna snow.
And now we're gonna invert all of our pictures and say, but then it wasn't. Hey, look, everything was great.
Where the camera stops and it be like, I bet you wonder how I got here.
or the part where they put a picture of Marv up on the screen as a still, and then they strike through it and rip it in half with the graphic.
Right. And everything was shattered.
Everything fell to pieces.
If this documentary was a parody, when they interviewed his girl, all you could listen, for all of y'all who ain't seen this yet, when you see his old lady, when you go watch this documentary, you see his old lady, all I want you to hear in your head is, look at the screen. That's your man?
And I'm gonna stand by him.
And I'm gonna stand
Okay, so it is fucking go time, guys. Okay, there's revenge to be had on the Thompsons, on Cody and his people, on the town board, on the planning commission. We have to get all of these motherfuckers back. And how we know that this is his list? Because he fucking wrote it down. He wrote it down. I don't know if it was in that order, but I feel like Cody was pretty fucking close to the top of that list. That's all I'm gonna say. He says God wants him to have his revenge. Hashtag God's plan. And I mean, we can talk about June 4th, 2004 now.
So that morning he gets up, has a nice hearty breakfast, I imagine. Loads his guns up into the tank to the
probably a Denver omelet.
Sounds delicious. Loads his shit up into the Komatsu.
Delicious.
Loaded that shit up, got his guns, climbed into his newly
a thermos of some Bangladesh coffee.
Listen, started his day right. Got up, got his guns, packed them into his newly fortified tractor, and we get a call from 911. Those are always fun.
Those are my favorite.
Right.
Mama's is like, hey, so not pressing or anything, and I can understand if maybe it takes you a little while to get somebody out here. Not in, not a hurry or anything, but there's a large tractor that looks like a tank of some sort bulldozing the side of the concrete business. Do you think you would get somebody out here?
Why was Slim not fucking anxious?
And the 911
and she was like, she was even
what? And the 911 operators, well, do you see anybody in it? Like I think in the 911 person's mind, she meant like maybe it was a piece of machinery that had gotten away from the person and it had fallen off.
Right.
And there was no way to stop it. She was misunderstanding the situation entirely, which is also, like you said, Slim's fault because she got on the phone like, whenever you can get down here or whatever. But they knocked down the building.
Like, hey. Right, she called like, "Hey, girl, I just seen your man at the Cheesecake Factory with a T-shirt." It was no urgency in none of this. It was, "Hey, this is Sherry down from wherever the fuck the Waste Management. This Sherry down from Waste Management. Some motherfucking tank out here, bitch. I need."
Like she seemed very unbothered. Like she was picking up her purse to go to the parking lot to get in her car to leave, and she just was like, "By the way, I think he's trying to bulldoze the doors. I'm not sure, and I'm not going to be here, but you might come down and see." Maybe.
But listen, before Sherry even got on the phone, let's detail to the guest that we have
what the tank looked like.
This man probably had a hearty breakfast. He jumped up in the Komatsu, and the next thing we see when he took the Komatsu in, it barely fucking fit. When he brought the Komatsu out, that bitch didn't fit at all. They literally.
Oh, he just ran through the fucking side of it.
This nigga just tearing through. This how you know a nigga. I wholeheartedly feel like he did some shit as if he was about to come back, like put some cat food out or some shit, and it was just like, all right, it's on for my day. You're renting the space. He like, that's how you know he done. You're renting a space from a nigga, and you wholeheartedly, this building is not even on your list. You had to fuck this building up to get started. Like
he's not getting his deposit back.
He bulldozed the fuck out the side of this shit and kept rolling.
He really did.
Which king of mufflers, king of bumpers.
Listen, all you gotta do is hit the gas,
and he did.
Okay,
the gas.
I mean, so he, like we said, Cody's at the top of the list, so he's fucking up all of Cody's shit. Like, I'm talking about reversing and going back into the building and reversing and going back into the building, basically trying to, literally,
if he could level that bitch, that's what he wanted. Like, if he could make it all come down, he was absolutely trying to.
Now, I want to talk about the exterior of the tank for a second, because it's crazy. We just showed you guys what it was, right? And when VJ said he was loading those guns up, they're not in his lap. They're set up at holes, right?
They got 50 cal.
They're set up,
one out the back and one out the side.
A 50 fucking cal, you guys. Just hold up, ready, so he can just fucking.
Person. If you've never seen a 50 cal shoot in person, I don't give a fuck how gangster you are. The first time I shot a 50 cal, I felt like a bitch, and I was in the service. I don't want this no more. This nigga had two of them. Set the fuck up and ready to go for some niggas that didn't even really do nothing to him.
Big boy story, man.
And you guys saw how the exterior of the place looks. If you can't see Marv at all. So you're like, how is he driving? He's got 5 fucking cameras on all around the fucking place so that he can see everything he's doing. Like the fucking thought and planning that he put into this. Yeah, he made up his mind
and was like, I'm gonna fuck this shit up. Like at some point the police get there, they're firing rounds at the shit, and then they finally have to be like, stop shooting at it.
Because it's not doing anything. Like it's literally bouncing off.
Yeah, you run the risk of it ricocheting off and hitting somebody.
The cops was the nigga from fucking Harlem Nights. Stop shooting that little shit.
That's literally what it was.
Yeah, like I just don't know what they thought it was gonna do. When them bullets started ricocheting, they was like, whoa, never mind. So then they yell at Cody, and they like, go get the biggest piece of equipment you have, and we're gonna try to ram it and lift it up off the ground. And to this, I say, now, if you know that Cody is on this high on this man's hit list, why would you enlist Cody to get on an open piece of equipment to go ram into?
Well, I do want to give the Granby Police Department a little bit of credit because they did suggest that one of the deputies just go jump on the back of it. But your boy Marv lubed it up.
They didn't suggest that.
He just
suggested.
Oh, he just did it. Oh,
on his own.
So
nobody suggested that. The police were like, everybody stand back. You get on the biggest piece of equipment you have and see if you can ram this shit. But don't nobody else need to get that.
This nigga ran up, tried to jump on it, but Marv had something.
Relationship going bad. He tried to be Superman. That's all that was.
He tried to jump up on the thing. He kept sliding off. Turns out Marv didn't fucking lube the outside of the fucking thing where it's fucking slippery and shit like a fucking wacky race. Like, so you can't fucking get up on the side of it and shit.
Okay, so this is gonna sound horrible, but all like the reenactment where they show him trying to climb up and he kept sliding down and falling down. You remember that show that used to come on Nickelodeon, Guts, and they would have to run up and aggro crab, and them like unathletic white kids would be like falling down and shit.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of, and I was just like,
yes. Oh man.
Like, it shouldn't have been funny, but it was really funny.
It was very funny.
The reenactment made it funny. Like if I'd just heard that, I'd have been like, "Oh my god, that's terrible."
Got kids, if you have kids, you know you hold something, or your son try to jump up and hold your arm while you lift him up. That's what Cody looked like trying to jump up and grab that thing. And he just kept falling down and hitting the ground.
Kept falling down
like a disenfranchised toddler. Like
So, like they said, Cody goes and tries to get something to lift the bulldozer. This nigga Cody ends up knocking himself the fuck out.
I think it's
because
windshield or something or part of
his head hit the fucking windshield because it's a fucking tank. Like, I don't know what you're trying to do, but like it's not gonna work. They got a 50 cal, right? And then they start shooting, but it didn't do nothing. It still didn't do anything. The troop
fucking cruising down Main Street.
Listen, troopers see him.
We didn't tell him what the wars was even made of. For a 50 cal to not hurt something, this nigga had 2-inch steel, and on the other side of that 2-inch steel was 2 feet of concrete reinforced by another piece of 2-inch steel. Wasn't shit getting through it. Nothing.
Like the planning.
Started trying to shoot out of it. The bullets weren't clearing. Yeah, so much to the point that when he tried to shoot out of the vehicle, the bullets were not clearing the enforcements.
Because that's how tight he had himself in there, that he was trying to shoot out and some of that shit wasn't even getting out. Like,
it was just exploding. You could just hear.
Dog, the concrete the nigga used was from the nigga he was going to try to kill. That's how you know.
Oh, but wait.
Shit.
Insult to injury.
I was gonna say, but that's true. But he also definitely said that Cody's concrete was bullshit.
With some shit. He did. He called it some
He said his shit was shit.
He did.
And I mean,
I didn't have a problem with Cody, and I bought all the concrete, and that concrete was shit. No.
It was shit. You hear it? But at least we know Cody's concrete will keep 50 cows.
Turns out that Cody's concrete was, in fact, not shit.
Damn, let me find out Cody the man, nigga. Like after this.
Let me find out. Cody is the king of concrete, like you the king of fucking snowmobile.
You guys got some 50 cal concrete down here?
Sounds like a hater. Concrete wasn't shit when you needed it. Now was it? Look at that.
It does sound like a hater. All right. Okay, so where are we? Oh, okay. So then there's a point where like some troopers are like hiding behind like some barriers and they start shooting at him. They're clearly not doing anything. So this nigga, instead of just going about his business, this nigga starts to like act like he about to run over them. If they didn't move, he would have fucking probably killed them. He moves on. He flips a car over. A cop gets on top of it, tries to like shoot inside of the fucking like air conditioner, does nothing again because we just told y'all what the fuck this shit is made out of. They throw flash bombs inside, no fucking effect. This nigga's just still driving, just doing his shit. Then he heads to the town hall building, right? The fun thing about this situation is like, okay, fuck the town hall, I guess. Like, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But this town hall, because it's so fucking small of a town, the library is in the same fucking building. And so there's kids inside and people who are just trying to fucking read books and shit and fucking, you know what I'm saying, look at titties in the science books and shit. Like, just people just trying to do regular shit in the library. You know what I'm saying?
Can you imagine trying to find Waldo and all of a sudden you like, yo, what the fuck?
and then you lose the spot you were looking in.
You're on the internet trying to do a book report and shit.
Nigga.
You trying to use the little scrap of internet the town has, and all the whole shit go black, and you look around like, hello? Anybody in here? You and the 5 other people utilizing the library. Now y'all huddled together on one side, looking at each other like.
So they are on the fucking radios as he's on his way. Yes, titties in the science book. You guys had those fucking kids that were in your science class, and they would like put like look on page 36, and there used to be like titties and shit, like or you guys didn't have kids in your science book. BJ, you looking at me like how I looked at you about the horse analogy, bitch.
Listen, it was a small town. The kids wouldn't do. Listen, me. That's why I was sitting here laughing when you said the part about the library being attached to the city hall, baby. Because in Diboll, Texas, you can pay your water bill out the same place you go to jail at. So I was just like, okay, sounds right.
Listen,
okay, yeah.
That sound like my grandma old town, nigga. My grandma town, bro, used to be able to go fucking pay the electric bill. I think you could buy a car out the same spot. Like, it was.
Damn.
My grandma town had 2 fucking lights in it. That's like no lie. Like one of them type of towns. Like.
Yep. Town I went to high school in had 3 stoplights in a row. It was a speed trap, 1 of each school, elementary, primary, high school, middle school. No McDonald's. We had a Dairy Queen and a Sonic. And 3 gas
Dairy Queen, they chicken tenders be okay when that's all you got.
As long as if your Dairy Queen is ran by Asians, I'll eat from there. If it's not, I can't fuck with it.
I don't think I've ever seen an Asian at Dairy Queen.
I've never seen an Asian person at Dairy Queen.
Like not even like eating it.
Like no one knew the building. Like what?
I mean, open in Wyoming, I mean, shit. That's them. The Asians run
just like the Asian restaurants out here, like yeah, the Asian restaurants at home. It's one Asian lady working the register.
Scoots? Let's not, okay?
What the fuck?
I mean, he has a valid point.
Cane's is a fucking place. It's a fucking place out on the West Coast that sells chicken fingers.
It's a place too. It's a place in Texas too.
Okay, so they just sell chicken tenders, and people like Cane's, but like
killing all that shit.
It is.
We'll have that.
But here's the thing about Cane's. Chris is finna ramp up to explain to us why she continues to eat at Cane's, even though the chicken fingers don't taste like anything. So she's
that's the sauce. Because the defense is all the sauce.
Defense, because they don't taste like nothing. They taste like they seasoned them, rinsed them in water, and then threw them in the flour and was like.
And then they put all the. They taste like to me like they put all the chicken seasoning in the sauce.
Basically, they have this cane sauce that you're supposed to dip the chicken fingers in. But my philosophy on chicken is if you need sauce for the chicken not motherfucking good. It don't taste like shit. It's a nasty twist. The chicken don't taste like shit. It hurts my feelings. The fries don't taste like shit. They taste like fucking oil. They don't taste like nothing. And then they want to give you salt and pepper packets and tell you have a fucking nice day. No, bitch, use them. Season the chicken. No.
I mean, guys, hey, I hear you, and I stand this out.
Upsetting. I have a vendetta. It's personal.
Okay, but can I just say I am from a place that we are sauce place. Like, so I'm from a place where like we sauce a lot of shit. Like, so I like sauces.
I like sauce too, but I bet you the shit under the sauce still tastes like something, Chris.
That's true.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Harold's gonna sauce the chicken.
I've never had a dry ass Harold pieces of chicken because I don't want it.
Exactly.
Harold's
But
sauce
I'm
is
saying, wait, you've never.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want a dry ass piece of Harold's chicken.
Listen, I like hot sauce. I'm not saying you gotta eat the chicken dry, but no.
Dean understands. Dean understands. It's for the sauce. Like, so
Right.
like if you just have a taste for it.
To not eat plain chicken. You don't have to have sauce for your chicken to not be plain. Where the fuck is y'all getting food from?
Listen, and here's the thing: both of them know this. They're only mounting this defense because of the sauce. Like, we all are in agreement here. These chicken strips don't.
Nigga, I am from a place where mild sauce rules. Mild sauce could run for mayor in Chicago. Do you hear what I'm saying to you?
I fucking love sauce too. Like, nobody is denying the love of sauce here. All we're saying is that normally when you get some chicken and some sauce, the chicken tastes like something without the sauce. Is the only place where the chicken don't taste like nothing.
Scoop, wait a fucking minute. Are you you're slandering catfish now? What did catfish do to you?
Didn't I tell you to leave the computer room?
Scoops, get out.
Don't go your shit.
Tend to do this once a show. This is the time where I bring up that Scoop wanted us to support motherfucking I mean
like, what did catfish do? Like, catfish wasn't even in the conversation.
It was a catfish or sauce, and I'm confused because catfish caught a stray, and I love catfish. Like,
I don't understand what catfish did.
Catfish is delicious. Wait,
catfish
is so good.
And here's the sad part about all of this: cane sauce is good. The sauce is good. It's just the chicken.
Listen, every time I know it's because I'm over here. I get it. I know that it's because I'm over here. But like, I don't hate canes. Like,
the sauce is good and the toast is good.
The toast is delicious.
But you gotta dip the rest of the meal into the sauce. And then they want you to pay for extra sauce, but you need it. You need it.
Oh, okay. Wait. But you know how you can get extra sauce in canes? Listen, I'm just not talking to him anymore. Like, what was I saying? Oh, if you go to Cane's,
order the box combo and you sub the coleslaw for extra sauce.
That's how you do it.
And
then it's enough sauce.
I know we black. Listen, if this is your first time at all, Doctor, to let you know that this is a black show, for about the last 3 minutes, we all forgot what the fuck we was talking about because this nigga brought catfish slander. Welcome.
It's our chicken, and we gonna stick beside it, DJ.
Tam, you can go ahead and log out for me too.
We gonna stick beside it. Listen. What we not about to do here? What we not about to do here is entertain Scoot's fucking propaganda. Okay, he literally coming here to be some like
contrarian.
Look, Sam said, "No, I need that other piece of
bread." You kind of but she's right though, because if you get the box combo, that's more tender. So you do kind of need the more. She right.
You're right. Scoots.
Get your contrarian ass in the corner and go play number muncher before you're done here. You're done. We are finna fucking form together like Voltron when this show is over on Twitter. We finna cyberbully the shit out of you. We finna cyberbully the shit out of you. Anyway, this man in this goddamn tank, he done bulldozed.
He ran through the library, nigga. Ran through town hall because the same building. He goes
the show early because of you, nigga.
So we can get on fucking Twitter and fucking.
But I can cyberbully your ass. Now I too have hashtag God's plan. Fuck that shit still there.
Okay. So then we go to then he goes to the news station because of the nigga that he said was fucking around him on his one-on-one interview.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the Thompson's house.
Little brother.
Right.
Oh my God. He was trying to bulldoze the whole town.
He went to the Thompson's house. Now he went to bulldoze the house that their mother lived in and basically mad other pieces of property. He basically ruined all of the Thompson shit from what I could tell.
Yeah, they ain't got no shit left over there.
Time out though. But shout out to the Thompsons. Listen, I'm gonna bring up George Bush only for this one reason. George Bush said something one day. They say, "Yo, George, why'd you go after Saddam?" He said, "Yo, the nigga tried to kill my daddy, right?" And when they asked the Thompsons, they said, "Yo, y'all need to get the fuck up out of there." They said, "Nah, nigga, we about to go to the crib. Tell that nigga come on through. Tell
him to meet us here, nigga. Like, listen, the Thompsons is ugly, but they stand by each other.
They got that
inbred spirit.
They got their mama the fuck up out of there. It was like, yo, tell that nigga come on down here, bro.
Nigga, tell him where we at.
They
drop a pin on a nigga.
Not ready. Let's go. What we doing? What did Jada say? What are we even doing? What do you mean? What are we doing here? What are you doing
here? Okay, so then he heads over to the gas. He goes over to the gas, independent gas, and he starts trying to shoot at propane tanks. But again, as BJ said earlier, because he's so protected in there, the fucking rounds aren't really getting out. He did end up hitting the transformer, but no propane tanks.
Which
right. They tried to block Marv from this is pretty funny to me. They tried to block Marv from getting back on the freeway after the independent gas situation. Marv, what is the word? He deboed them out of the way is probably the best way I could describe it.
Nigga,
I don't know what they thought was gonna happen.
And set it right behind this nigga. Like, hey, blood, yeah, we got you boxed in. Nah, that nigga was like, word, watch this. Hold on, man. And
so you better not can tell you,
nigga.
Dog, this nigga
and move this nigga out the way.
You know, a grown man push the shit out of a toddler. It's not right. That's what happened. The fuck out the way.
It very much it gave very heavy child abuse vibes. Absolutely,
it did. Like so much so that at one point the other truck that was trying to stop him just backed up. Like, all right, my nigga. Like, I'm not dying over this.
I don't want a concussion today. It's cool. I didn't sign up for all of this. They didn't tell me this is what we were doing. So I'm gonna just let you.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and have it. So basically, he gets back on the freeway. And he is in front of Gambles, which is owned by, I forgot that nigga name. Somebody else that he got an issue with that happens to be on the town council or whatever.
Yeah.
Which one? The Gramble store?
Yeah, the Gramble store. The Gamble store. That's where we at right now.
That's the nigga that said at the beginning, yo, I put something on the back of my truck. It was bouncing. I took it over to Moss. Moss was like, yo, I can fix it. He was done looking, he split. That's what I'm saying.
Nigga.
The nigga with the fucked up nose, him and his wife was the people in the town and the shit. That was this nigga.
Mm-hmm. So as he's going there, sorry, go ahead.
I can't remember. Fuck.
Oh.
No, I can't remember.
So he is getting to that store. He's ready to bulldozer it, and then his engine starts to overheat. But does that stop him, VJ? No, it does not. He's going slower, but he's losing power, but he's still demolishing the fuck out of that building. Just a very slow reverse and forward.
He's easing into it. You know, he's just sticking.
Yes. Yeah.
It's smoke everywhere. If you've ever blown your radiator, you know what that shit look like. Imagine that times 10, nigga. This is what was going on. This nigga moving very slow.
Very slowly smoking the building out, you know.
Exactly. He gets stuck when he's going on the side of this building because it has a basement. So he didn't account for that. So had the right side of his tank goes off of like the steps, kind of. So he gets stuck and he can't get back up. Then everybody's like, okay, let's get people moved back. Let's get people up there. Let's just whatever. And they hear a gunshot. And this is what's killing me. Like, you know what that meant. And they sent people in there and they opened it up and they were still shooting at him.
Nah, they didn't shoot at him. The weird part for me was you heard the gunshot.
And then they start shooting?
June 4th. Nah. They start shooting at the joint, thinking they could shoot into it, and they couldn't. Once the tank started moving and they heard the gunshot, the shit that got me was that was probably 5 o'clock that afternoon. They did not get into that tank until fucking 5 o'clock the next fucking morning.
Next day.
Yeah.
Remember, they threw flashbangs in that bitch. They shot into that mother.
They couldn't get into it.
They
couldn't get into it.
They couldn't get into that bitch for over 12 hours of fucking welding to get into this fucking tank.
So
after those 12 hours, right, they finally get in there, and he shot himself because
God's plan.
Hashtag God's plan. Marv's ashes were released during a snowmobile trip. So somebody doing some sick tricks on Marv and shit. What's up?
They all got on the snowmobiles. Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
My thing about it is cool. His ashes was released. Who the fuck released the ashes? You mean to tell me the nigga that done fucked up everything in the town? That's the nigga we about to be like, cool, let's still release this nigga ashes. Come on.
They
listen,
did.
Marv.
Like, listen, I didn't understand.
Hashtag Marv's plan.
I didn't understand it either, but they all listen. They showed us the video. All them white people, after he demolished the town, got on them fucking snowmobiles with their Marv bumpers and rolled their white asses up there and released the ashes anyway. So I don't motherfucking know, because if you bulldoze my business, I'm not riding no motherfucking snowmobile up there. No.
So
I'm gonna be like, can you give me a piece of that tank to try to fix my business? Can I? Give me some of the concrete.
That you know,
what you gonna do with it? Take it off.
That's how you know the Thompsons was about that bread. The nigga was like, I mean, he bulldozed around my house, but I don't understand why they got rid of the tank. I would have made it.
Yeah. So right,
they all about that bread.
Right. So after all that happened, they broke the thing into like 1,000 pieces, so like not one person could have all of the parts to have it. But your boy that looked like a thumb definitely had a good fucking idea with making a fucking museum out of it. Like, it definitely would give Granby some fucking tourists, because like what else is in Granby?
I don't know. Them, I guess. I don't know.
Nothing now, but so
his toy collection, I guess. Die-cast toys.
So all this happened on June 4th, 2004. It was crazy on the news that day, but unfortunately, the next day, Ronald Reagan died. So you probably never even knew this happened.
He got fair faucet.
He ruined some shit, didn't he? How you die and still ruin?
And still ruining shit, like still. So that's probably why a lot of y'all might not have heard it.
You fucked up a whole town. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's all. I wasn't saying that.
That's it. Like, he fucked up the whole town and was on news for one day. And when you listen to that manifesto, he thought for sure this one was gonna go down in the history books and it was gonna be on the news forever, and people was gonna be talking about Marv Heemeyer, and it was gonna be all over everything, everywhere. And Reagan was like, and then he was like, Reaganomics.
If you don't believe God has a you know,
he was like, yeah, not Mars plan. Hashtag Mark, right? You know, Reaganomics. That's the plan. Hashtag Reaganomics. The grief will trickle down. Someone will care. Hashtag.
And guys, that was Tread. You guys can catch it on Netflix. I know we're gonna wrap up, but I have something I wanted to share with you guys. Like, I know that we like to like figure out which documentary we're gonna do like after we're done recording, but I just saw the most amazing thing yesterday, and I feel like, guys, All Docked Up is going to be covering Go DeMarcus, the documentary. I'm just playing.
No. I thought I was the only one that saw that.
No, nigga, of course I
Go DeMarcus.
I was like, I started to text y'all like, yo, this is the next one we're doing.
Good. Oh, girl was like, I was the one that played the girlfriend, and I'm listening to really still friends. Like, this is beautiful.
She was like, and I was the one recording. I was also the one that was like, go DeMarcus. Go DeMarcus. Oh my god! I was like, I want to text this to them. This will be so much funnier, just like out of the blue, and it sounds like it's some real news. Like,
God, my favorite part of that whole shit is when he was the grown nigga, the grown DeMarcus is like, yo, that backflip, I'm gonna hit it again.
And this nigga was busting his head open, nigga. Go to Marcus. Now get crunk with it. Get crunk with it. Now get crunk with it. Oh God. Oh no, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Tam.
Oh God! If honestly though, if they would have stretched that shit out to 45 minutes longer, nigga, it would dead.
Hey, look! As soon as
Right
I
up
seen
our
that
fucking
shit,
alley.
I got Snow on the Bluff vibes. Soon as
Right up our fucking alley. I was like, yeah.
Oh God! But it's just like it's the white man that couldn't sleep at night trying to figure out what he was at though. Like that's what it's doing it for me.
What?
That was the beginning part of the documentary. He was like, and the one question I had was, where's Go DeMarcus now? Like, is that the only question that you've had over the past few years? Is where's Go DeMarcus? Oh God. Well, guys, that's
you
it.
want to know
Really.
something? That lets, real shit, real quick. That lets you know the internet makes time fly so fast. Ain't nobody
really does.
watching this can tell me that that you thought DeMarcus was older than fucking 15 right now.
I definitely thought this nigga was a senior in high school. DeMarcus look like he fucking got a pill problem and some more shit.
Look,
DeMarcus got addiction
in the background of the video when old dude slammed. Remember when that nigga slammed old dude at the job when he came up there to fuck with him? DeMarcus was in the background recording shit. The grown
nigga. Go DeMarcus. Okay, so guys, Tread is on Netflix. Go DeMarcus is on YouTube. Watch them both. If anybody wants to talk about the Go DeMarcus documentary, you guys want to like dig deeper into it, you guys can definitely follow me on Twitter. I'm here for it. So is Jay from Podcast Happy Hour. Oh shit. But guys, that's it for this week or other week or whatever we do this shit. I'm Chris. That's BJ. That's Penrose. This is All Docked Up. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.